Animal Control. How can I help you?
Is of the building completely collapsed.
You are looking at live pictures right now.
Rescue dog on the scene right now.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Denise Sanders, and I'm the Senior Director of Communications and Search Team Operations here at the Search Dog Foundation. So on behalf of all of us here, we have some staff, board members, and even our founder, Wilma Melville, here with us today. Welcome to our National Training Center and to the Search Dog Foundation's Search Team Pairing Ceremony. We appreciate you all being here with us today to celebrate these teams, as well as everyone who's at home watching today and helping celebrate with us from afar. We have everyone tuning in from social media as well. So it's not just us. We have an entire team of supporters that's here celebrating these teams, which is wonderful to have all of you as part of the SDF family. I'd like to introduce our Director of Canine Behavior and Training, Mandy Tisdale, who's going to be joining me here on stage to talk just a little bit about each of these amazing dogs that have been trained over the last few months, as well as the handlers that the leash is now being passed to, who will be taking these dogs home and working with them for the next 8 to 10 years of their careers. SDF's team has been working with these dogs who will eventually go on to certify and deploy. And we actually have some veteran teams here that just recently returned from the Hurricane Ian deployment in Florida just last month. So we have quite a wide variety of different skill levels here, but we're all here to celebrate, support, and help these new teams get to eventual certification and deployment. So why don't we go ahead and meet them and talk a little bit about what they've been through so far.
Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? Good? Thank you so much for being here this morning, both in person and virtually. We really appreciate the support. These 4 handlers and 4 dogs have worked really hard together over the last several months to get to this point in their, really just the beginning of their career together. So they have, I will say these 4 dogs are very challenging. They're very headstrong. We look for certain qualities in these types of dogs, and these 4 are no different. Probably a little more headstrong than some. And these handlers had to exercise the patience muscle when working with these dogs. And as you see them walk up, they are perfectly paired. The dogs have picked these handlers, and they are definitely a match. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first team. Jeremy DeMott and his new canine partner Chirp with Chesapeake Fire Department and Virginia Task Force 2. Chirp was found as a stray and placed with Rescue Ranch in Wairika, California. Coincidentally, the shelter had just received a gift box from SDF containing a variety of dog toys, including Chuck-It balls, so they decided to use them to determine if Chirp had any toy drive. Well, he most certainly does. SDF had also given the shelter instructional videos demonstrating how to screen a dog for potential as a search dog candidate. Following the examples in the video, staff put Chirp through his paces, and based on his performance, it was clear that this mixed breed cutie just might have what it takes to become a search dog. Chirp is sponsored by Doris and Howard Busloff. Chirp he's one of a kind. This little guy right here, he has melted the hearts of our staff and volunteers alike. Looking at them in the back there. They are very attached to this little guy. Chirp, his name matches him perfectly. When you guys see him work on the rubble, his bark alert sounds like a chirp. It's perfect. He is bold, confident, headstrong, and Jeremy didn't realize how strong he was when he was working with Chirp. When he started working with him, they really, to us trainers, it was very clear that they were a match. Jeremy had to kind of step up and really recognize his abilities with Chirp, and you've done a fantastic job with this dog, and it is clear that you two are a team and matched. I mean, look at him looking at Jeremy right now. This can be a challenging environment for dogs, so they are definitely a match made in heaven. So with that, I would love to invite Jeremy to say a few words.
Good morning. I feel like a celebrity at the Grammys, but I have to say my statue is pretty cooler. I can't thank you all enough. Thank you to the Rescue Ranch for everything that you've done. Search Dog Foundation here, the team, for not only for Chirp, but for all the dogs that come through here. The Chesapeake Fire Department, administrative staff, or their assistants and everything that they do for us here. My team members from Virginia Task Force 2, I appreciate everything that you all are doing for us now and in the future. And my family, my wife Kara, and my boys Tucker, Ryder, and Finn. I appreciate all the support and all the sacrifice you give me. And most important, I thank this guy for picking me to be part of his pack and sharing this journey with me. So thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy and Chirp. All right. Our next team is Christopher Cook and his new canine partner, Ridge, with the City of Suffolk Fire and Rescue and Virginia Task Force 2. Ridge was found as a stray in Tooele County, Utah, and brought to the Tooele City Animal Shelter. There he was adopted twice and returned to the shelter for the same reason. Ridge had way too much energy. He was constantly in motion, played nonstop with his toys, and was an escape artist. At his last adopter's home, Ridge managed to escape and run away, and the adopters didn't even bother to go looking for him. Ridge was eventually picked up and brought to the shelter again. At this point, Ridge was well acquainted with the shelter staff and greeted them like old buddies at a homecoming. Luckily, it wasn't long before an SDF recruiter spotted Ridge in the shelter and recognized his potential. Ridge is sponsored by David and Barbara Barnhart. Ridge, I got to tell you, Ridge blew us away. When he came out here for his performance screening, we put him through his paces, and the trainer's jaws were just on the ground. They were just on the ground. Our training manager says, her quote about Ridge is that everything he does is magical. He is bold, confident, strong, hardworking, and he's real cute too. Would you agree? Yeah. He looks like your cute little Labrador, very biddable. You would think he's biddable, but I will tell you, when a toy gets involved, woo, he turns into a different dog. You guys will see this a little bit later. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. He is all about his toys, highly toy driven, and when we were looking for his perfect match, it was pretty early on in the program, we realized that Chris was going to be the right match for Ridge. They both have a very fun-loving kind of personality, but when it comes time for business and work, they're all business and work. Chris, you have worked really, really hard with Ridge, and we are really looking forward to watching you guys grow as a team and supporting you in your future. So with that, I would love to invite you to say a few words.
He listens sometimes. Good morning. I just want to say thank you to Search Dog Foundation. They've been outstanding. Excuse me, I'm getting all choked up already. Virginia Task Force 2, awesome. Just been a great experience thus far. I started kind of early on, back in January. Didn't get a whole lot of experience prior to coming here. Very uncomfortable coming here at first. I was like, oh man, I don't know. How's this going to work out? Mandy and her staff, Abby, everybody here was amazing. There's too many names to name. Everybody here is amazing. I'd like to thank my wife, my kids. Awesome. Come over here, buddy. There you go. Other than that, thank you all for coming out here and sharing the moment with us. It's been great. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris and Ridge. All right. Our next team I'd like to introduce is Brandy Outlaw and her new canine partner, Pluto, with Chesapeake Fire Department and Virginia Task Force 2. Pluto was raised by an elderly couple in Utah, but as he grew, his energy level became too much for his former owners to handle. According to them, Pluto had a tendency to find toys around the house that they thought they had hidden well. Pluto would find the toy and offer the new toys with excitement in hopes they would throw it for him over and over again. Pluto's family realized they couldn't give him the life that he needed and listed him for adoption in a local newspaper to avoid surrendering him to a local animal shelter. Luckily, an SDF recruiter noticed the ad, and the rest is history. Pluto is sponsored by the Nahikian Family Foundation and an anonymous donor. Pluto. Oh, Pluto. This dog has been such a blast to work with. Staff volunteers would agree. He is obviously the word I'm using with all these dogs, headstrong. He's a headstrong, confident little guy. He definitely has an oral fixation. I will tell you it's very rare that you find him without something in his mouth. Right now is an exception. Good job, Pluto. We'll get you that tug in a little bit, buddy. But he would greet us when it was time to go out and train. He would get out a lot and go out and train. He would greet us with something in his mouth, making Ewok sounds and jumping with excitement. And he would carry that toy, whatever it was, out to training. And then when it was time to work, spit that toy out and he's ready to go. This guy's been a lot of fun. He's a challenging dog, this one. When we were looking for his perfect match, we had the handlers work with different dogs, trying to figure out who would be the appropriate match. And when Brandy started working with Pluto, we knew that was going to be the match for him and for her. He's a challenging dog. Brandy had to find within herself to work with him in a way that would be collaborative. And as you can see right now, they are a team. They're buddies, but they're also work partners. Brandy, you have worked really, really hard with Pluto to get to this point, and you guys have a bright future ahead of you. And I'm really proud of you for all the work that you've done with him and the bond that you've created with this dog. So congratulations to you guys on this moment, and we look forward to supporting you through your career. This is just the beginning. I'd love to invite Brandy to say a few words.
Well, those of you that know me know that I'm very rarely without a lot of words to say. But today I find myself with only a few, and they're all thank you. Thank you to my husband, my department, my task force, SDF, everyone that got Pluto to be who he is and got me to be who I am to get us here today. It's been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mandy. And so all three of these teams are part of Virginia Task Force 2. So they'll be heading home to the East Coast either later today or tomorrow. And we're lucky to have with us today, as I mentioned, two veteran teams. We have Karen Meadows and Jax, and we also have their canine coordinator who oversees the canine program for their task force. So I'd like to introduce Virginia Beach Fire Department Captain and Virginia Task Force 2 canine coordinator Sean Hall to come on up and say a few words about their team and these three new four-legged members that'll be joining here shortly. Sean?
Thank you. Good morning. That's a little loud, sorry. Thank you for allowing me to take a few moments here to say a few words on behalf of Task Force 2. So Search Dog Foundation, here I am once again, truly grateful for your continued generosity. We began this partnership a year ago with Karen Meadows, a fellow teammate of Virginia Task Force 2, and myself being paired with National Search Dog Foundation canines. Now today, we are so fortunate to be celebrating the pairing of three new Virginia Task Force handlers with three new dogs from Search Dog Foundation. It's truly difficult for me to adequately express my and my task force's gratitude to SDF in our working relation. However, we want you to know that our appreciation runs very deep. SDF is an incredible organization. You hear it all the time, but they're incredible for so many reasons. But I believe the number one reason is obvious, right? The dogs, I mean, they're incredible. However, none of that would be possible if it weren't for the professionalism, the dedication, the passion, and the pure joy for the work from the staff of SDF, everybody, the whole family of SDF. And Miss Melville, once again, thank you very much. Now, Brandy, Jeremy, Chris, congratulations. You've all accomplished so much over the last 18 months or so. You've worked tirelessly to learn what it takes to become a handler. You came to Virginia Task Force 2 with a willingness to learn and possessing a super great enthusiasm. You have been essential at our team trainings and assisting current teams in obtaining training goals and also for their certifications. This isn't going to stay. You quickly learned about the different canine behaviors, as all these three are opposite to some degree. You learned about training programs and how demanding working your canines can be. I hope you can appreciate the Virginia Task Force 2 handler process and the time devoted to get you ready for this day. It's not easy taking on this life-changing endeavor. However, it is extremely rewarding. Virginia Task Force 2 takes great pride in ensuring our handlers are prepared for this position and wants nothing more for you to succeed. I can honestly tell you that everyone from our program manager, Chief Hopkins, all the way down to the most junior member of the team, everyone is aware of the hard work you've put into to achieve this. Keep at it. It's not over by a long shot. Just getting started. It's the tip of the iceberg. Many additional challenges lay ahead. There will be good days. There are going to be bad days. But remember, your VATF2 teammates and your Search Dog Foundation family are there for you. Congratulations. Welcome to the team.
Thank you, Sean. All right. Last but certainly not least, I would like to introduce you to our final team of today. That is Derek Morey and his new canine partner, Roma, with Los Angeles County Fire Department and California Task Force 2. Roma's exuberant energy proved a little too much to handle for her original owner. Realizing that she'd be better off with someone who could give Roma the attention and training she required, Roma's owner surrendered her to Southern California Cat Adoption Tales, a nonprofit rescue in Pasadena that, despite the name, rescues dogs as well as cats. SDF recruiters noticed Roma posted on the rescue's social media and reached out to the rescue manager for more information. Coincidentally, the rescue manager had a background in working dogs, fortunately for us, and agreed that Roma's high drive and energy indicated that she would be happiest if given a job. And Roma headed to SDF to begin her training. Roma is sponsored by Meg Caston. Roma's a force to be reckoned with, I will tell you that. When you guys see her on the rubble a little bit later, you'll see what I'm talking about, actually. She looks like a Labrador. Would you agree? Looks like a Labrador. She's part Labrador, part Malinois. She physically looks like a Labrador, but I will tell you she acts like a Malinois, and anybody that knows Malinois know how intense they are. So Roma, in any given moment, typically she's battling her Labrador and battling her Malinois on either side of her shoulders. She loves to work, she loves to bark, she enjoys the rubble, and man, does she love Derek. We knew when Roma came into the program that she would need a certain kind of handler. She's challenging. She's a lot of dog. And quite literally, we start with toy play when we introduce the handlers to dogs to see how they're going to handle that kind of intensity. And literally the first moment that Derek worked with Roma, we knew, all of us on staff knew immediately that is the handler for Roma. Derek didn't know it yet. We did. Roma picked him. So throughout their time, they've been working together, working hard together. He's got so much patience with her. One of our staff members this morning, we were talking about you guys, and one of our staff members said their relationship and their bond is so pure, and it is. They were destined for each other. They both like to run. We were frequently see Derek and Roma running around campus together, burning their energy, getting their fitness on, and yeah. So, Derek, we're really proud of you. We're glad that Roma found you, and we're glad that you found Roma, and we're really looking forward to supporting you guys on your journey. You're just getting started. So with that, would love to invite you to say a few words.
Thank you. Thank all of you for being here. Chief Aspie, sorry, already getting emotional. Thank you for this opportunity. For my friends and coworkers, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all your support, your continued support. Thank you for being patient with me going forward. I'm going to be bugging you guys nonstop with all kinds of questions. So thank you. Appreciate it. Thank your families for being here. I truly appreciate your time and your support here. Deanna. Thank you. I love you. Thank you for your support and patience, and your continued patience and love will be greatly appreciated. And to the SCF staff, I can't thank you guys enough. What you do here is amazing. You find unwanted dogs from all over the country, retrain them, give them a purpose, and give them a great life. And the amount of work and effort and time and dedication that goes into that is absolutely amazing. So thank you all.
Thank you guys, and congratulations to our teams. Don't worry, they'll be back. You're not just stuck with me for the rest of the ceremony. So now that they have officially been partnered, the leash has officially been passed. As I mentioned before, these teams are now going to work towards certification. They will be back multiple times. Our training staff will continue to support them throughout their journey to becoming certified and eventually being deployed. And then we hope, and they better be back multiple times after that, hopefully several times a year. So we get to continually see these teams grow. As Sean, I think, was the one that mentioned a little bit earlier, the journey has just begun, and there is a long, long way to go, and there will always be something new around the corner, as our veteran teams can attest to. So we are now proud to officially introduce for the first time our newest canine disaster search teams. We have Jeremy DeMott and Chirp, Chris Cook and Ridge, Brandy Outlaw and Pluto, and Derek Morey and Roma. Search teams. Congratulations, you all. All right, so we're up here at the rubble pile. We're going to see the 6 dogs searching, so our 4 newest teams as well as 2 of our veteran teams, which is going to allow everybody here to see the different skill levels and just exactly where these dogs are and how they perform. So we're going to see just how quickly they cover the rubble pile behind me. It would take us probably months or days to do that, but these dogs are going to cover it in just a matter of seconds. We're going to have Chirp go ahead and run first. So it may look like he's using his eyes, and he is to navigate the rubble safely, but he's really following that nose, believe it or not. They have to learn that skill sometimes, where they learn to trust their nose and follow it while also looking out for any obstacles in their way. It's a bit of multitasking, and some dogs are better at it than others, just like humans. But every dog sort of has their own unique way of searching. So Chirp is actually doing a great job of covering everything and getting some fun in there too. But he picked up the scent pretty quick when you saw him make that turn. Good boy. Nice job, bud.
Good job, buddy.
So now it's time for the reward. So for anybody who hasn't watched one of these search dogs search before, this is why they do what they do. You can see he gets to take his tug toy back with him. All right, let's see Ridge. Clearly, Ridge takes his time. So the wind is not necessarily in his favor right now. If you see the little ticker tape up there, you can see which way it's going, but there it is. I was going to say he's going to catch it as soon as he gets on this side. And he wants that toy. He says, I worked for it, I did my job, and it's time to celebrate. That is all part of it. That tugging, as I said, is that instinctual need to just tug and really feel completely all in. These dogs, I have to tell you, I've been here for 14 years now. They love what they do. There is not a moment where they're not enjoying themselves. And it has a little bit to do with how we do things and what we do, but it's all them. They really enjoy this. This is why we pick them. They were born to do this kind of work. Good boy. He wanted to show off just a little bit. Make sure you all saw that. Again, Pluto is very slow at searching. These dogs have no trouble with their footing. They're going to cover the rubble pile independently. I don't know if you noticed, but none of them have collars on. They're going to search naked, essentially, as we call it. We don't want them to get caught on anything, and they really don't need it. Their handler is going to wait until they alert and might need to direct them a little bit just to make sure they stay within the search area. But for the most part, these dogs know what they're doing. And the number one thing we tell our handlers during training is to trust your dog. If you don't trust your dog, you cannot be a true partnership and you can't get the job done as well as it needs to be done. Unfortunately, the work we do, it's not a matter of did you pass certification or pass the test. It's really a matter of life and death. Good job, bud. Good job. So next up we'll have Roma. And in the meantime, while they're getting ready, I just always have to ask, how long do you think it would take all of us, I mean, looking down this entire road, all of us to clear this rubble pile? Weeks, months, probably. It would take a really long time. Now, I will tell you the dogs haven't cleared the entire pile necessarily, but they can cover this rubble pile in a matter of minutes, as you're seeing, especially when they're working together as teams. So it's pretty remarkable what these dogs are able to do. There's no piece of technology that is able to match their capabilities yet. And I doubt that we're ever going to find something quite as cute and cuddly as well as useful and functional. But they have a great time as well. And like I said, for these dogs that really have this drive, this is something that is meant for them. They are not meant to be on a couch at home watching TV with you. They'll be eating the couch. You know, we want to make sure that they have their place and they're enjoying life as well. Now, Roma has a bit of a trickier situation because there is really no wind right now. It just kind of died. And so she's really going to have to cover more of the pile because the wind's not going to help her out by pushing that scent to her. So she's working hard. You can see that even though it almost looks like she's looking up and over a ledge, Now, when we're on the rubble pile, we always have obviously the handler, but we also have a victim and then a safety as well. So we have a couple people up here that are just making sure that the dogs stay within the search area. If anything happens and they happen to fall or get caught on something, we want to make sure we see what happens so we can address that. But these dogs, between their agility work and some of the other training we do in between the searching, they rarely are getting injured. Good job, Roma. Good job. Good girl. Nice job, you guys. So those are our 4 newest graduates. She says, I'm not done. Let's go again. They are never done, I will tell you. We have to tell them each and every time. So the next dog that we have running, I believe, is Mannion. And so Mannion graduated from our program last year. He actually came to us from the service school.
Your wind's blowing up, Sean.
But he is a fantastic service dog. We just returned from Hurricane Ian, where he and Jack, the next dog that you'll see, cleared massive amounts of space that were just devastated by that storm. Good boy. Very methodical, and it always looks like
Good job, buddy.
out for a stroll. But I will tell you,
Good job, dude.
exactly what he's doing.
Good job, Monkey. Good, buddy.
And that just goes to show you the different styles that you see between these dogs. Some of them are very much like that. And so when they're out there on an actual deployment, it's up to the team and the handlers to really discuss that with their search team managers and let them know, good boy, that they can be used in different capacities as well as paired. So if Mannion is a little bit of a more methodical searcher, maybe you have him go after you do a little bit of a faster search with a dog that tends to run a little bit faster. You can kind of match them up together during an actual deployment to get that job done and make sure that we cover every single space. So Jack's also just returned from Florida with Hurricane Ian, and you may have seen him on our Facebook, our social media. We shared a video of him actually searching through, I believe it was a mobile home park. And you can see in that video the absolute devastation that goes on for miles. This is a very small snapshot of what they're up against. There's that hook again. That wind helped him out. But you can see that this is just a very small piece of that. These dogs are amazing at what they do. Good boy. Get her out of there. So So he might just get her out of there. These dogs definitely tug and tug and tug. Now their job is to stay right there until his handler gets over to where he is alerted. And the reason for that, again, in a real deployment, if it's a hurricane like Hurricane Ian, you may have miles and miles of, neighborhoods that have been devastated. And we need to make sure we know exactly where he's pinpointed that strongest scent source so that Karen can then mark it, and then the task force can come in and clear that area and know with confidence that that's where he alerted. Good boy. Good job. So you just saw 6 dogs working on a rubble pile in I don't even know how long, but that's just how quick it goes. Now these dogs during training get multiple repetitions in a day. This is what they live for, as I said, and they really enjoy every single minute of it. I have to say our staff does too, so it's a win-win all the way around. These dogs were meant to do this. Good boy, Jaxie. Thank you guys for the demonstration. You guys did a great job. And thank you, Abby, for being our victim in the hole. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions at all about how we search with the dogs, how we train the dogs?